A story of the U.S. Army Bureau, A00-030. Animated quill writing on parchment, then a map of colonial Philadelphia. Transition to a simple animation of colonial militias forming into a more organized line. Our story begins in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1775. The air was thick with revolutionary fervor. Delegates of the Second Continental Congress, facing escalating hostilities, knew a unified military was essential. And on June 14, 1775, they formally adopted the New England Army of Observation, transforming it into the Continental Army. The very next day, George Washington was unanimously appointed Commander-in-Chief. The delegates placed special trust and confidence in his patriotism, valor, conduct, and fidelity, believing he alone could lead this precarious undertaking. A new nation and its army were born. Scene 2, Forging Resilience, 030-130. Snow-covered barren landscape with rudimentary huts. Animated soldiers huddling and training with Baron von Steuben. Transition to a dramatic icy river crossing. The winter of 1777 to 1778 at Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, became a crucible. Soldiers, exhausted and ill-supplied, faced severe shortages, disease, and freezing conditions. Private Joseph Plum. Martin described their truly forlorn condition, no clothing, no provisions, and as disheartened as need be. Yet a profound sense of dedication, endurance, and resilience emerged. In February 1778, Baron Friedrich von Steuben arrived, tirelessly drilling the ragtag recruits into a disciplined force. This newfound discipline was tested at Trenton, New Jersey. On Christmas night, 1776, Washington led 2,400 Continental soldiers across the icy Delaware River amidst a brutal storm. Morale was sagging, and Washington felt dire necessity to strike a lucky blow to rouse the spirits of the people. The password? Victory or death. They marched 10 miles through the blizzard, surprising and defeating 1,500 Hessian mercenaries. This stunning victory breathed life into the War for Independence. Animated siege lines, cannons firing, and a British flag being lowered. The final act unfolded at Yorktown, Virginia in 1781. French and American forces expertly encircled British General Cornwallis. After a relentless bombardment and coordinated assaults, Cornwallis, facing a hopeless situation, requested terms of capitulation. Legend says the British band played "The World Turned Upside Down" during the surrender, a poignant reflection of the profound reversal of fortunes. This decisive victory led directly to the Treaty of Paris in 1783, securing American independence. Scene 3, A Growing Nation's Trials, 130-215. Animated burning White House, then a map showing U.S. expansion into the Southwest. The War of 1812 saw the young nation tested. Early attempts to conquer Canada failed, and in 1814, British forces burned Washington, D.C. The army was too small and incompetently trained, a consequence of the nation's fear of large standing forces. Yet victories like the Battle of New Orleans, though fought after the peace treaty, instilled national pride. Decades later, the Mexican-American War, 1846 to 1848, saw the Army as an instrument of manifest destiny. From the Rio Grande to California, U.S. forces, including Army, Marines, and Navy, seized vast new territories. Despite a lack of formal joint doctrine, officers showed unprecedented success at forming ad hoc teams. Scene 4, A House Divided, 215 to 315. Animated battle scene at Gettysburg, showing intense close-quarters combat, transitioned to a besieged city with civilians in caves. The Civil War brought unprecedented carnage. At Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, in July 1863, over 50,000 casualties made it the bloodiest single battle. On July 3rd, Pickett's charge saw 12,500 Confederates assault the Union line, only to be repelled with devastating losses. The aftermath was horrific. Blood running through the streets, slain animals, left to rot. Simultaneously, the siege of Vicksburg, Mississippi was underway. President Lincoln declared, "Vicksburg is the key. The war can never be brought to a close until that key is in our pocket." And for 47 days, Confederate defenders and civilians endured shortened rations, exposure to the elements, and constant bombardment. Civilians resorted to slaughtering mules and cats for sustenance. Union General Ulysses S. Grant's philosophy was clear. In every battle, there comes a time when both sides consider themselves beaten. Then he who continues the attack wins. Vicksburg's fall on July 4th, 1863, split the Confederacy and was a major Union victory. Scene 5, Global Conflicts and Transformation, 315 to 415. Animated trenches of World War I, then a massive troop transport. Transition to D-Day landings, showing chaos and soldiers waiting ashore. In World War I, the U.S. Army rapidly mobilized from 127,500 to 4 million men. American Expeditionary Forces, AEF, deployed to France, participating in brutal trench warfare. The Meuse-Argonne offensive, one of the most lethal resulted in 117,000 American casualties, instilling a grim sense of duty. World War II demanded unprecedented scale. The Army grew to over 11 million personnel. On D-Day, June 6, 1944, at Omaha Beach, France, assault troops landed on a fire-swept beach. Soldiers waded through waist-deep water and 3-foot waves, amidst total chaos with men's bodies everywhere, with wounded men crying. One soldier grimly accepted, "If this is it, let's get in there and get it over with." Thomas Krabs, a young soldier, described arriving in chaos, enduring intense fire, and being very happy to be alive after an experience no training could prepare him for. Nurses in field hospitals remembered the wounds and the faces, but often didn't get a chance to know the men. The psychological toll was immense, with over 500,000 service members suffering psychiatric collapse. Scene 6, Modern Challenges, Enduring Spirit, 4:15-5. Animated Korean War scenes, then Vietnam jungle warfare, followed by desert operations. Transition to modern soldiers in uniform. The Korean War, 1950 to 1953, saw the Army fight limited wars to contain communism on the Korean Peninsula. The Vietnam War, 1955 to 1975, brought new complexities. U.S. forces faced an unorthodox enemy in the jungles and cities of Southeast Asia. The Tet Offensive led to a crisis of morale, with reports of malaise and desertion, drug use, racial conflict, to combat refusal. One soldier recounted killing a teenage girl, an act that made him throw up immediately afterwards, and that he didn't like that it got easier. Another wrote home, "Every day is Monday in Vietnam." The Gulf War, 1990 to 1991, showcased rapid, decisive victory in Iraq and Kuwait. The global war on terror, 2001 to present, shifted to prolonged counterinsurgency in Afghanistan and Iraq. Soldiers faced unique mental health challenges. Trauma surgeon James Bolseric described the profound impact of seeing U.S. service members with horrific dismemberments and burns, particularly one soldier, completely burned with a picture of his wife and child in his pocket. Rob Serra, an Iraq war veteran, recounted the emotional devastation of accidentally killing a civilian woman waving a white flag, leading to hysterical crying and a deep internal struggle. Yvette Pino, an Army soldier in Iraq, expressed profound moral conflict in a letter home. "My values have once again been skewed, and I am uncertain where to draw the line between respect and caution. What a fucked up world." Many felt their service helped protect Americans at home, believing they were taking the hits meant for their families. Today, the U.S. Army is an all-volunteer force, living by the warrior ethos. "I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade." Modern soldiers in diverse roles, training, and helping communities. From colonial militias to a globally responsive force, the U.S. Army's history is a testament to enduring courage, sacrifice, and constant adaptation, embodying the spirit of a nation committed to freedom.